Optional chaining is an operator in JavaScript that lets us safely try to access values nested inside of an object. While you might already be familiar with the standard chaining method, which is simply just using a period to access a nested value, being able to use the question mark and then the period allows you to optionally chain it. What that means is when it tries to run that statement, it's only going to try to access that nested value if that first value actually existed. So for instance, in this example of dog name, it's only going to try to access name if dog is actually available on the adventurer object. So to test this out myself, I created a new object called Charmander where I got some details from the Charmander Pokemon from the Poke API. Here we can see the name of Charmander, and we can also see its type, which here it's fire. Now if I console log out my Charmander, we should see that when I run this script, we see our object with our name and our types. If I only wanted to access the name though, I can add a chain here with the word name, and I can run that script again, and we can see that we only get Charmander. Similarly, if I wanted to see the type, I can do something like types, then I can access the first item of that array, and then again chain type and name, and if I log that out, I can see that it's fire. But say in this example, I wanted to update this to log out the second item in that array, which we see here that it doesn't actually exist. Now if I run that script, we're actually going to get an undefined because we don't actually have that second item in that array. Now one way we can prevent that error from happening is adding an if statement, and we can first check if that type actually exists, and if it doesn't, it's not even going to try to run that console log. But instead, I can update the chain between the types array and my word type to an optional chain. That way when this console log runs, it's going to first check if this type exists before it tries to access type. So now if I run that script, we can see that we get an undefined. But again, if we update this 1 to a 0 to access the first item, we're going to see that it's still going to work. That's because the first type actually exists, like we already know, but since that chain operator is there, it sees that it exists, and it'll just act like it typically does with a normal chain. As another cool feature of optional chaining, say we wanted to run the function move on Charmander. We don't currently have this function defined, so as expected, if we try to run that, we're going to get an error. But with optional chaining, we can actually add that optional chain in front of the parentheses, so when it goes to invoke that function, it'll first check to see if it exists, and if we now try to run this, we're going to get an undefined. That's because when it goes to fire that function, move doesn't exist, so it just returns undefined. But now, if we actually define that function, and say we return something like fire punch, if we now run that function, we can see that it returns fire punch. This time, it checked if moved exists, which it does, and then it invoked that function. Now this is a simple example, but this becomes really powerful when we're working off of dynamic data such as an API or a database, so that we don't have to manage a bunch of if statements around that code. Optional chaining is a convenient way to be able to safely access values inside of objects. If you like this video, make sure you hit thumbs up and subscribe for future updates. Thanks for watching!